Hey, how's it going guys, and welcome to my full in-depth review of the Sony Xperia XZ Premium. Now I have already done a unboxing video of this phone and I have been reading your comments, so let me answer a few of them. Number one, few of you asked how's the battery life. Well guys, this is my first battery charge after the unboxing video, and I charged it up to 100% and now I'm at 17% battery. Basically 1.5 days of heavy use. I have done a ton of slow-mo videos. I have recorded some regular videos like this one over here. I did delete the slow-mo videos off the phone because they were using up a lot of space, but I have been clicking pictures. I have been using WhatsApp. I've been using Instagram, Snapchat, web browsing. I have been using 4G internet on this thing, and Wi-Fi has been on all the time, and also been listening to music and watching YouTube videos. So my screen on time on right now is 5 hours 8 minutes 6 seconds, and I think that is pretty respectable for a 30 milliamp hour battery. And do keep in mind that this is a 4K display. Alright, second question is, does it get hot? Absolutely not, but it does get warm when you record 4K videos and when you do that slow-mo video thingy. It gets hot from over here. You can't really call it hot, it becomes warm, but yeah, rest of the phone is cold to touch. It's just this part which becomes hot. I think that's where the CPU is located, but once you stop recording that slow-mo video, it becomes cool to touch once again. So I think thermals are not an issue. I haven't got a message on this phone saying that the phone is getting hot. I did record some 4K video, and yeah, the phone was running cool. I did not get any overheating message. And third question I got, where I get my wallpapers from. Guys, my wallpapers are from this app. It is called Wallpapers Craft, and the second app I use is Wallpapers for Me. I think these two apps are pretty darn awesome. They have some really cool wallpapers. And yeah, you can see the Android UI is definitely being rendered in 1080p, and that this is how Sony is able to achieve that insane battery life, and you do get 5 hours screen on time with heavy use. Okay, another question that was asked is, how much space do I have left on the internal memory? Now guys, I did install a couple of apps, you can see over here, including games like Asphalt 8. That one takes up around 1.5 gigabytes. And I did install Microsoft Office, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Temple Run 2, Subway Surfers. So keep in mind these apps will be using a lot of space, but let's go to storage and memory. 35% of storage is full, so around 22.84 gigabytes is being used. So let's wait for this thing to calculate. So there you have it guys, 6.8 gigabytes of apps, 300 megabytes of images, 300 megabytes of videos, 70 megabytes audio, and 14.14 gigabytes of Android system, and 3.36 gigabyte of other data. Cache data is around 1 gigabyte. And yeah, you can use an SD card up to 200 gigabytes. So. Alright, moving on. Another question was related to the camera. Someone was asking how is the picture quality. Well guys, the picture quality is pretty darn good. I will include all of these pictures down in the video description. You can go and you can check it out. So let me just go to Xperia camera and show you guys a couple of pictures. Like, take a look at this one. If I zoom in, I think this is pretty respectable for a phone. It is pretty clear. And how I clicked this was, you go to camera and you go to manual mode. You set it to manual focus and you set it to infinity, and increase the shutter speed to maximum. On this phone the shutter speed goes up to 1 second, and keep the exposure value to 0. This is how I was able to get this picture. And yeah, I am keeping this phone steady somewhere like this, and that is the only way you can get such stable pictures. And here is a little video. I can't play the sound because it will cause a copyright claim on my video, but yeah, I think the video quality is quite good. Same place. And I think the details are pretty good in this video. And daytime videos are no doubt excellent. There's great details, contrast is good, colors appear natural. And daytime still photographs are even more amazing. You can see how much detail there is in this photograph. And yeah, this has been taken on the phone itself. And for example, this one, excellent amount of detail. Someone was asking me how is the sound quality like on this phone. I think it's pretty darn awesome. The speakers are loud and crystal clear. So let me play a song for you. These speakers are definitely better than the original Xperia XZ. I think that's pretty loud. And a few other things I would like to point out is I could not find Bluetooth dual audio. You know, this phone comes with Bluetooth 5.0, but you can see there is no option here. It says Bluetooth dual audio. And secondly, if you go to display, there is no double tap to wake feature on this phone, which is kind of very unfortunate because it is there. Double tap to wake is there even on the old Xperia XZ. You can see it over here. Tap to wake is there. Meanwhile, the feature is missing from the Xperia XZ Premium. Alright guys, so let's begin the proper in-depth review of the XZ Premium. So first thing I would like to do is talk about the design of the Xperia XZ Premium. Now you can see I have here the Xperia Z3 Compact, You can see it used to have a glass back, then they shifted to the Xperia XZ, which had a metal back, the alkylido metal, and again they have moved to the glass back on the Xperia XZ Premium. Now I was not a fan of these glass backs because they were notorious for breaking when you drop the phone, and many users complained that the glass would eventually separate from the frame. But you can see I have the Xperia Z3 Compact for quite a while now, and so far it's been working fine. It all comes down to taking care of your phone. I don't think this will be much of an issue on the Xperia XZ Premium because this one uses Gorilla Glass 5, which is, I think, far more tougher than whatever Sony is using on their older series, Z series smartphones. Again, this is a very classic Sony design, huge bezels on top and bottom. Speaking of the bezels, I do feel that these bezels are a little bit bigger than the original Xperia XZ, especially this bottom bezel. Now what I would like Sony to do in their next iteration of the Xperia smartphone is reduce a little bit of top and bottom bezel, but not too much. I don't want this phone to look like a Samsung Galaxy, but yeah, I do like these bezels. They give me something to hold on to, especially when you're taking pictures. When I'm taking pictures, I usually hold the phone like this, so if this was an edge-to-edge screen, I would be covering up the screen like this. So yeah, I do think that the bezels come in use. You can see like this, and especially when you're playing games or watching a video, I tend to grab onto the phone like this. So I think it's a pretty neat idea to have these stereo speakers over here instead of having one tiny little stereo speaker on the bottom. And yeah, these bezels are big, but they're not annoying. I think I think online reviewers hate this phone unnecessarily just because the Samsung Galaxy has less bezels. But yeah, I don't think these bezels are a huge issue. And guys, the phone is indeed water resistant. So even if you dip in water for a couple of minutes, the phone should be okay. And you can see how quickly the water rolls off of the glass, and we're fine. The phone is working, the screen is working fine, no harm done. Again, you do get the stereo speakers, you have the proximity and the light sensor over here, 13 megapixel front facing camera. This one also comes with autofocus, and here is your notification LED. Now if you buy this phone in the US, the fingerprint sensor will be disabled. So unfortunately, due to some patent issue, this thing is disabled in the US, but you can re-enable that easily by flashing one of the international ROMs. Right now I don't have it set up, but yeah, let me assure you guys, this fingerprint sensor works flawlessly. So if we take a look at the sides of this phone, this is made up of a nylon material, and trust me guys, this feels absolutely premium even though it is not metal. It feels like metal, and it is definitely cold to touch. So yeah, I don't know why Sony has done this, maybe to minimize an impact if you drop your device, or to keep the overall weight of the phone low. But yeah, it does not feel cheap. It feels good to hold in hands, and the edges feel cold just like you would as if you're holding onto metal. Speaking of metal, the bottom and the top of the phone is definitely metal. I checked it with Sony. Anyways, on the right hand side we get a dual stage camera shutter button. This is useful if you wanna play with the autofocus. So if you press it a little bit, it focuses, and then you press it again to take a picture. And it is the same with the front facing camera. The front facing camera also supports autofocus. You can see it here, and this comes in very handy if you're taking selfies, if you're taking close-up selfies especially. And you also get this hand gesture support, which you do like this, should click a picture automatically. So this comes in very handy if you can't press the shutter button. So again, the phone recognizes there is a hand and it clicks a picture automatically. and for the most part the front facing camera quality is absolutely amazing. And here on the bottom we have a USB Type-C port, and this is a USB 3.0 port, so unlike the slower transfer speeds on the Xperia XZ, you'll get higher transfer speeds on the XZ Premium, provided you plug in the cable in a USB 3 port on your computer. And here you have the main microphone. On the top, thank God, we get a 3.5mm headphone jack, which is kind of becoming a rarity these days. Secondary mic for noise cancellation. And yeah guys, that vanity mirror back Xperia logo. And what I like about this phone is that the NFC has moved on to the back. So if you remember, the original Xperia XZ had the NFC receiver on the top here. Overall, a very classy looking phone, and I really like how Sony has paid attention to the design over here. You can see how this surface seamlessly loops around the whole phone. So if I flip it over, you can see the surface continues. Sony calls it loop design, I think. Overall, I think this phone's got a pretty amazing design. It feels very solid to hold in hands. But yeah, the bezels on this phone are indeed huge, without a doubt. But anyway, I like this design. It's a very industrial design. And another thing I'd like to point out is that I feel sometimes this edge kind of digs into my hand when I'm holding this phone like this. But overall, one-handed use is possible. So let me type something. This predictive text thing is pretty good, and it happens only sometimes when I'm trying to hold the phone like this. When I'm typing, I hold the phone like this, so the edges doesn't matter. And my experience from moving to a 5.5-inch device from 5.2-inch has been pretty pleasant. It took me only a few minutes to get used to this phone. So let me talk to you guys a bit about the display of the XZ Premium. Now this is a 5.5-inch display, and the resolution is 3840 into 2160 pixels, and that comes to about 807 pixels per inch, which is crazy high resolution for such a small display. Now even if you take a magnifying glass and if you try and look for the pixels, you won't be able to see them. I did spend quite a lot of time with this lens and just trying to see different pixels, but yeah, there is no way you can see them. That this display is so darn high resolution, and it really looks like as if you're looking onto a painting or something, because there is absolutely no way you can see the pixels on this thing. You can see how deep and vibrant the colors are. Now I don't know how good this is on camera, but you can see the display is absolutely amazing. So let me turn on auto rotate. You guys can see how deep and vibrant those colors are. Now if you don't like the colors, you can adjust them in the settings. So go to settings, go to display, and go to color gamut and contrast, and switch to standard mode. The standard mode gives you the color gamut of the Sony Triluminous display, but if you want more accurate colors, go to professional mode, and this will just display more accurate colors. But you can see the color saturation has gone down a bit, and this is like far more accurate than super vivid mode. But I do keep on super vivid mode for making videos like these, just so you guys can see how good the display is. And other options here include font size, display size. I've kept it on small. If you increase the display size, you can see the navigation bar also becomes a little bit bigger, the icon size increases. I like to keep this on small so I get more area to work with on the screen. And like I said, there is no double tap to wake, and there is no option to change the resolution. So most of the time this display works in 1080p mode, so whatever Android UI you can see here is being rendered in 1080p, and that is good because that's how Sony is able to achieve that great awesome battery life. You can tell that by using this application called IDA64. You can download it on the Play Store, and if I go to display, You can see here the screen resolution is set to 1080p even though this is a 4K display, and I can already tell that has been done to save battery power. But in the future I would like to see the option to change resolution in the display settings, and I think the viewing angles are pretty good for an LCD screen. You can see the image does not distort even though I am trying to view it on the side. And this display is also HDR10 certified, but other than this preloaded 4K HDR video, I could not find any other video which is HDR supported. So this is what you will be stuck with. I checked with Amazon Prime, they don't seem to have any HDR video, and 4K streaming seems pretty irrelevant with my slow connection speed. But yeah, you can, if you can find something which is 4K HDR, this screen is perfect for viewing that because it is HDR certified. So let me try demonstrating that over here. Alright guys, so here is a little test setup that I've tried to rig. Now this is the demo video which comes preloaded on the XZ Premium. I've transferred the video from this phone to this one. This is the Sony Xperia XZ. Now this is a 4K HDR video, and you know that HDR is enabled on the display of XZ Premium, and the original XZ does not have the HDR technology. So I'm going to try and play this simultaneously. Both the phones are set to similar brightness, and you can see the display of the XZ Premium is a little bit more vibrant. Check out the reds of the bicycle, the color of the wall. It is very difficult to view this with all of the lights on, but yeah, I can tell you guys that this display is far better than the display of the XZ. So for example, if I freeze the frame here, you can clearly tell that the colors here are much more saturated than this one, even though I've set this display to triluminous mode right now. But yeah, you can see the difference between HDR videos and non-HDR videos if you place these devices side by side. But if you're viewing this video on this phone, it looks equally good. And let me tell you guys, this is probably by far the best LCD screen you'll ever come by on a phone. It's 4K resolution, super high res, and it's got HDR certification, so you will be able to play all that 4K HDR enabled content if you can find one. So at the end of the day, this display gets a thumbs up from my side because the display is absolutely amazing. High resolution, the contrast is deep, colors are saturated, and it's got good viewing angles. And not to mention, it is very bright. It's a thumbs up for the Sony Xperia XZ display from my side. So when you unbox the XZ Premium and turn it on for the first time, you will be greeted with Android 7.1.1, which is Android Nougat. It comes pre-installed on the Xperia XZ, so it is nice to see the latest version of Android installed. And yesterday the Android security patch level also got updated to 1st June 2017, which is the latest Android patch level as of now. So as you can see, this is slightly customized. And I really like what Sony has done to Android on this thing because the customization level is very minimalistic. As you can see here, the drop down menu is also stock Android, and so are the settings. I really don't like the TouchWiz UI on the Samsung phones. So this is a plus point on Sony devices. The customization is minimal, and I really like the fact that Sony doesn't give you all these unnecessary fancy features like the ones on Samsung phones. So let me give you a quick tour of the home launcher. You pinch out like this to reveal the settings, or you long press on the home screen. Here you get an option of different widgets. You can change the wallpapers, live wallpapers. This one comes pre-installed, and you get different themes. So let me change a theme and show it to you guys. Let me change it to Uncharted 4. And you can see this Android navigation bar has also changed. But for the most part, I really like the original Sony theme, the Xperia Loop theme. So here we are. I changed the wallpaper back to that Christmas wallpaper, which looks pretty cool. So like I was saying, if you go to settings, you can also change the icons. These icon packs are downloaded from the Play Store. You can search for that. I was using this viral icon pack, which I think looks nice. So once you apply it, you can see the icons have changed. You can change different settings like paint transition. I've kept it on windmill, so if I change to flow, you can see the transition of the home screen changes slightly. So I will change it back to windmill. And you do get this option of Google Now, which I have disabled for now because I don't use Google Now. So this is how the home screen looks like on an Xperia phone. And also another thing I like about Sony phones is you get an option of disabling the bloatware. So if I go to apps, go to disabled, you can see I have disabled a couple of applications which I felt I will never be using. So it came pre-installed with Asphalt Nitro, AVG antivirus. Yeah, these applications I will never be using, so I took the liberty of disabling them. And also all Sony phones come with this battery saving feature called stamina mode. What stamina mode does is once you turn this on, the device performance will be restricted. So you can see all the animations have been disabled except the ones on the home screen. You can see the phone is performing very differently. So you can see there was no animation when I opened the settings, and this will save a lot of battery life because the processor will be slowed down. So let's go ahead and disable that. And another thing you get is ultra stamina mode. So once you enable ultra stamina mode, all of the phone features will be disabled except these. So you do get the basic phone functionality, contacts, messages, camera, album, clock, calculator, settings, and music. You won't be able to access third-party apps like Instagram. You won't be able to go to Play Store. You won't be able to use the internet, no Snapchat. So this is very useful if you want to save battery power, extend your phone's battery life for a couple of hours. And lastly, we have a feature called battery care. Now what battery care does is it learns your charging habits. For example, if you plug your phone in around 12 a.m. and leave it charging for overnight, what battery care does, it learns the charging habits and it will charge your phone up to a 90% and keep it over there. Say you unplug your phone every day around 8 a.m. Just before 8 a.m., say half an hour before 8 a.m., it will continue charging from 90% and charge the phone up to 100%. Now we all know that fully charged lithium ion batteries degrade faster, so this feature helps in prolonging the battery life of your phone. And the Xperia XZ Premium also comes with Qunono Adaptive Charging. Now what Qunono Adaptive Charging does is it measures the cell's electrochemical process in real time and adjusts the charge accordingly so that your battery will not degrade quickly. And what Qunono promises is that you get 2 years extra battery life with their charging technology, so I don't think that this phone's battery will degrade quickly, thanks to Qunono and Sony's own proprietary battery care methods. Now the keyboard which comes pre-installed on the XZ Premium is SwiftKey keyboard. Now you guys might be familiar with it, but I kind of really like this keyboard. You get the gesture input, predictive text over here, and the additional options you get over here is the ability to resize the keyboard. You can see I'm using the smallest size available. This is the default size. You can change the layout, and also you can change the theme. So if you want a darker color, you get a black keyboard. It comes pre-installed with quite a lot of themes, but I think the best theme is the default one, which is this. But if you don't like SwiftKey, you can reinstall the original Xperia keyboard. Just go to the Play Store and search for Xperia keyboard, and the original Sony Xperia keyboard is still available. The Android Gallery app has been replaced by a custom Sony app. So here we have the album application. Now this application also displays videos. So here you have a video view, all the videos on your Xperia. You have the folder view. It shows the different folders. You can see here. You can see a little icon over here which shows that it's on the memory card or it's on the internal memory. You can browse your home network. So here you can see this is my media server. You can directly play the media off the media server, and you do get the Xperia camera view. So this is your camera roll. It will show you pictures that you have snapped using the camera, including the videos. I think this angle is much better. So let's move on to the music application. Now this music application is very much reminiscent of the original Walkman app that used to come on Sony phones. But as you can see, this is the home page you get. You get the playing queue, recently played, newly added. And if I go to the menu over here, you get different views like artists, album, songs, and what I like is you still get the folder view. So these are all the folders that contain songs that exist on your internal memory and the memory card, and you do get an option to stream your music directly off the Google Drive or your home network. You can see my media server shows up over here. So let's go ahead and see what audio settings we get. And this is another feature I absolutely love about Sony phones. You get an option called DSEE-HX. Now this feature will restore the compressed audio music to near high-res audio. So once you turn that off, you get access to Clear Audio Plus. You do get different sound effects. You get equalizer. You can change it over here. You get Sony's clear bass. For the most part, I keep the DSEE-HX on. It gives you the best sound quality. Let me tell you guys, the sound quality of this phone is absolutely amazing, especially when you pair it with a good pair of headphones. Now this is the Sony MDR-XP450. These are not the noise cancellation headphones, these are just regular headphones, but they do sound amazing. So to make these sound even better, close to high-res audio, you should go to settings, go to audio settings and turn on DSEE-HX. This will restore all your MP3 files to high-res audio and turn on automatic optimization. And lastly, for all your videos, you get this dedicated video player, which for the most part I don't use because the album includes a dedicated video player. So you press on videos, you can see all your videos which are on your phone. So there is no need of this extra video player. Sometimes I do end up playing videos on VLC player because this default video player doesn't support all the video formats. And I think, guys, it is obligatory for me to do a performance slash multitasking test. And I think the review will be incomplete if I did not do it. So what I'm going to do here is launch a couple of applications and we'll multitask through them and see which ones remain in memory and which ones are being reloaded from the internal memory. So let's begin. And you can see how good this phone performs. The app launch is almost instantaneous. You can see how fast this thing reloads. Guys, I am seriously blown away by the performance of this phone. You can see how quickly the apps are opening up. Check out that load time, that was insane. You can see game is working, no problem. So let's go ahead, minimize that. So what else? Xperia Lounge. And this phone is not even warm, it is still cold to touch, which is absolutely amazing. I think these apps require signing in. Tempo run. So I think that's it. Let's go ahead and multitask. So if we press the recent key, I'm going to launch the Play Store again and let's see if it reloads or if it's already in the RAM. And you can see this these Play Store did not reload, it was already in the random access memory, which is good. So is the album. Let's go ahead and load something different, say this Chrome web browser, and again you can see this was in the memory. The web page did not reload. Same thing with the Instagram. I think Snapchat reloaded, not sure. Wallpaper craft did not reload. Music app did not reload. I think, guys, so far so good. Multitasking seems to be great. So let's do Subway Surfers. Okay, the Subway Surfer app is reloading. So let's see, where is Guardian? It was in the RAM. Temple Run 2 also did not reload. So here we go. Now many of these applications don't support split screen. You'll get this message over here. It says app doesn't support split screen. So now you can see I have album and GSM Arena both open at the same time. You can read the news, keep the web browser open. You can see how many apps. You can see many of these applications don't support split screen, which is kind of unfortunate. So Play Store supports split screen. So yeah guys, so far so good. You can see how the software is performing. Again, you can see this message app may not work, but it is working sort of. Guys, now you can see how this phone performs when you load it up with a lot of applications. Performance is indeed top notch and I really like it. The camera of the Xperia XZ Premium is a 19 megapixel motion eye camera. It also comes with an RGB sensor to give you accurate white balance, and you also have a laser autofocus system over here and a tiny LED flash. And the front facing shooter is a 13 megapixel camera which also supports autofocus, so you get those crispy selfies. So there are many ways you can launch the camera app on the XZ Premium. So if your phone is locked, you double tap the power button to launch the camera, or you can long press the shutter button and the camera will launch. Or you can press the power button once and swipe up from your right hand side, bottom right hand side, and the camera will come up. And you can see how fast the camera launch is. Launch the camera and there you go, you've clicked a picture. So let me try and explain to you guys what the camera app does and how it functions. So here you get 3 modes on the left hand side. Start with manual. You get manual settings like you can change the shutter speed. Unfortunately, you do get only 1 second shutter speed maximum. You can change the focus to manual focus in case your camera focusing isn't working well. And you do get other settings like ISO. You do get other settings like ISO. You change the resolution. You get HDR and some other miscellaneous settings. And I do recommend that you keep the camera on superior auto mode because it will select the appropriate settings automatically. Now you can see it's already selected macro mode because you can see the subject isn't far from the camera lens. And you press this button to click a picture, or you depress the shutter key, depress it to set the focus, and then depress it even more to click a picture. Now I have taken several pictures by this camera, and a full resolution link is already down in the video description. See how clear the image quality is. And I also recorded some videos which I will be linking in this video itself. Now if you want to launch the front facing camera, all you gotta do is tap this little icon over here. Or if you can't reach it, all you gotta do is swipe from top to bottom and the front facing camera will launch. And if you want to switch it back to the rear camera, again swipe from top to bottom. Also, if you go to manual mode, you get an option of HDR, which I think is pretty cool. In the superior auto mode, HDR works automatically. And you have another trick over here, which is hand shutter. So in case you can't reach the shutter button, or you can't reach this button, all you gotta do is show your hand like this and a picture will be snapped. I think this also works in manual mode. Pretty cool, huh? And the front facing camera's quality is also pretty good. And if I zoom in, I can clearly read Nokia 9300i. That is way back over there. And with the front facing camera you can record full high definition video, and you also get this intelligent active steady shot. Alright guys, let's go to the video camera. Again, you swipe from top to bottom like this to get to video mode, and here you have that 960 fps slow-mo video. And if you go to normal mode, you have the video resolution settings. And interestingly, there is no 4K setting over here. For 4K setting, you have a separate mode. So again, swipe from top to bottom and you get this different camera apps, and here we have the 4K video option. And this is kind of strange because I don't see many people doing an extra swipe like this just to go to 4K video mode. I would like Sony to integrate the 4K video mode itself over here, which will be pretty nice. In 4K video mode, we do get that steady shot image stabilization, but only standard mode. There is no intelligent active, and we do get the option of turning on the video light. You can see it improved the focus immediately. Okay, so here we are back in the regular video mode. So let me quickly show you what all settings we get. We get that color balance, video resolution, object tracking, auto capture, that is the smile shutter. You do get steady shot. I like to keep it on intelligent active even though it kind of crops the image a little bit. Geotagging, touch capture, grid lines, pretty irrelevant features. I don't use them. Again, we do get that quick launch settings over here also. So guys, watch this video sample and let me know what you guys think of the video quality of this phone. Now all of the videos have been shot in full high definition 30 fps. It's steady shot on intelligent active. Alright guys, I hope this video gives you an idea on what to expect with the video camera. So let's move on to the slow motion video feature of this phone. So to enter the slow-mo video feature, you need to press this icon over here. And unfortunately indoors I will not be able to demonstrate because you can see it kind of requires a lot of lighting. So if your lighting situation is not good, this slow-mo video feature will not work properly. So you can already see it's flickering. But here we have three options. You get the super slow-mo video, You can record video at different speeds by switching to 960 fps. So the phone will record in 720p, and when you press this red button over here, you can see the phone is recording. This is being recorded in 720p. So as soon as you press this button, the phone kind of records at 960 fps for less than a second, and then stretches the video out to 30 fps, and that gives you 5 seconds of super slow-mo video capture. And the results are amazing, guys. And just after this video, I will link some slow-mo shots that I've captured using this phone. So the second option we have is slow-mo one shot. Over here in this option, once you press this button, the phone will record for less than 1 second a slow-mo video and then expand it to 5 seconds. As you can see, the total slow-mo video length is about 5 seconds, and whatever you see here has been captured for less than a second. And the third option here is the regular 120 fps slow-mo, and this one also works in low light, so no problem with that. So guys, here are some slow-mo shots that I've shot with this phone. Thank you for watching this video and enjoy. So guys, closing thoughts about the XZ Premium. I think that this phone is the best phone of 2017 at the moment. If you don't mind big bezels like these, this phone is the phone to get in 2017. Mainly because of that super slow-mo video and that crazy high resolution 4K display. And yeah, this phone is super duper amazing. I love it. It does feel good in hands. It does feel premium, and I really like this mirror finish on the back. So guys, thank you for watching this video, and if you do have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comment section down below, and I will be more than happy to answer you guys.